Hey folks, John here. Thank you for tuning in and welcome back once again to This World, My Take, where the headlines meet real world. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing good. Folks, I would please like to beg you to help this platform grow. Think about hitting that subscribe button, smashing that like, and turning on your notification button so that whenever I drop something, you get notified. Let's not talk a whole lot, let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, remember a while ago I did say on the vlog that I dropped that when you tell one lie, you have to tell another lie to back the first lie. And then eventually you will have to tell the third lie to back the second and the first lie. And that's how it keeps going until you decide to come clean. Now, we have been watching the whole Epstein client list. There's no Epstein client list situation from this administration. And ever since AG Pam Bondi came out and stated that the DOJ and the FBI, after thorough review, have come to the conclusion that there's really no Epstein file. Now, I had to scratch my head because, folks, there's a difference between a cover-up and just flat out telling a lie. And from the moment that came out, that document came out claiming that, oh, there's nothing to see here. There's no Epstein file, no client list. Everybody has been on edge. And this administration has been crumbling because that has already torn apart the president's base, MAGA Nation. A whole lot of MAGA Nation folks have already lost confidence in transparency and the credibility of this administration. Let's remember, folks, these guys ran on the banner that immediately they get into office, they will expose the list of people that are involved with, that disgraced financier, Jeffrey Epstein. And then all of a sudden, they did it 3:30 after letting us know in February that, oh, the list is on my table and we are reviewing it. Everybody's going to get it and so on and so forth. They even went as far as inviting some of the staunch influencers in MAGA Nation, like the Meghan Kelly, like the Charlie Kirk, to the White House to meet President Trump. And then AG Pam Bondi handed them folders which clearly stated Epstein's file step 1 or phase 1, which meant that there was supposed to be phase 2. And our sources would tell us when they did that with these folks at the White House, they did secretly tell them, you know what? There's really nothing in there for you guys to see. It's just a publicity stunt. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this. The lies that this administration and its officials have been telling us is too much. And it is gradually coming to a point where they will have no way to lie to the American people anymore. Now, there is a document, which, by the way, is in the public domain, which was issued on February 27th, 2025. And I'm going to read this document and I would like you to pay attention and you will see that, yes, indeed, folks, the Jeffrey Epstein file, there is Jeffrey Epstein file and there is a Jeffrey Epstein list, clientele list, regardless of what they are trying to make us understand. Now, let me read this letter. Office of the Attorney General, Washington, D.C., 20530, February 27, I'm reading, folks, 2025. Now, this was a letter that AG Pam Bondi wrote to Director Kash Patel, the director of FBI. So it goes like this. Dear Director Patel, before you came into office, I requested the full and complete files related to Jeffrey Epstein. In a response to this request, I received approximately 200 pages of documents which consisted primarily of flight logs, folks, pay attention, Epstein's list of contact, pay attention, and a list of victims' names and phone number. She said Epstein's list of contacts, like those that were abusing kids, young girls, that is what that means. But still, with the bold liar face, AG Pam Bondi came out and told us that, there's nothing to see here. Let's continue with the document. I repeatedly questioned whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request, and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents. Late yesterday, which means the 26th of February 2025, late yesterday, I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein's. Remember that. She has thousands of pages of documents having flight logs, client lists, contact lists, victims, and phone numbers. But yet, she came out with the DOJ and the FBI telling us that there's nothing to see here. I don't know if they think that we are morons. Despite my repeated request, I continue, the FBI never disclosed the existence of these files. When you and I spoke yesterday, you were just as surprised as I was to learn this new information. What information? The Epstein list, the Epstein file, clientele list, victim, and so on and so forth. By 8 a.m. tomorrow, February 28th, the FBI will deliver the full and complete Epstein files to my office, including, once again, ladies and gentlemen, including all records, documents, audio and video recordings, and materials related to Jeffrey Epstein and his clients. Pay attention, clients, regardless of how much information was obtained. Folks, I don't know about you, but I do think that this administration thinks that everybody is an idiot. Let's continue. There will be no withholding or limitations to my and your access. The Department of Justice will ensure that any public disclosure of these files will be done in a manner to protect the privacy of victims, not clients, not the pedophiles. Privacy of victims, and in accordance with law, as I have done my entire career as a prosecutor. It turns out that you are a shitty prosecutor right now. You are a shitty AG, and you are full of lies, ma'am. I am also directing you to conduct an immediate investigation into why my order to the FBI was not followed. You will deliver to me a comprehensive report of your findings and proposed personnel action within 14 days. So I'm letting you find out why when I asked, they didn't send everything. They sent just 200 pages. And in New York, I was told that they have thousands of pages, which means you guys selected what you wanted to send to her. I appreciate your immediate attention to this important matter. I know that we are both committed to transparency for the American people, and I look forward to continuing to work with you to serve our president and our country. Sincerely signed, Pamela Bondi, AG, Attorney General. The last sentence, folks, the last paragraph. She said, I know we are both committed to transparency for the American people. You lied to us. How transparent is that? Didn't you just say that there actually wasn't any Epstein clientele file? Or this document was written by a ghost? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to say much. I want you guys to understand the level at which this administration is destroying accountability and credibility in the American system. I want you to leave a comment and let me know exactly what you think. The world is complicated. We are going to keep talking about it. Stay blessed, folks.